Hey, what's up guys? J-Wink is here with a J-Wink review of the newest Marvel movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sorry if I'm yelling a little bit louder more than usual. I'm kind of deaf right now. I was at a thing last night, a big game for my hometown school's girls volleyball district championship game. And I'm kind of deaf from that, and I was kind of jamming out on the way home from Doctor Strange with a couple of guys I was hanging out with, so I'm kind of a little bit deaf. But, so yes, so enough of that, let's talk about the movie. So Doctor Strange is another origin story about Dr. Stephen Strange, who is a guy who's a doctor, and he is a very arrogant doctor. You know, he's very like, yeah, I'm the only one who could do things right. You know, it's not my fault, it's yours. You know, it's everybody, everything bad goes to somebody else, and everything good has to go to him. And you really see how Benedict Cumberbatch portrays this kind of arrogant, kind of asshole, kind of in a way of like, and it's kind of reminiscent of the big man right here, Tony Stark. And you know, you kind of see that, and I've kind of noticed that when I was watching this movie, like, yeah, okay. And of course, going into this movie, you know, it is an origin story, of course, because you learn that, yes, he went through this big cataclysmic event that was a car accident. If you guys don't know, if you haven't seen from the trailers, sorry, minor spoiler, I guess. If you haven't seen, you know, you see that happen, and then boom, ends up in a car accident, and then he is driven mad. He has to get his hands fixed. And even when he is at his lowest low, he's still that arrogant asshole that just can't quit being just a freaking jackass. And it's funny to see that because, you know, it very sticks well to the character, and it's a very good arc that he has throughout the movie. But of course, you know, every hero overcomes that, and so it's interesting. Well, it's kind of dimming its way down because Tony Stark was the same way, and so was Ant-Man. Some characters are like that in the MCU now, and it's, if they keep using that thing, if they keep using the same formula, you know, it's going to kind of get old. But regardless, even though does Doctor Strange still hold up? Yes, it does, because regardless of the origin story, it is very cool to see magic finally introduced into the MCU. And also, the different characters that are portraying it, like Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, and Chiwetel Ejiofor, I don't know how to say his name, sorry, I completely butchered that, as Baron Mordo. Very, very cool. And Mads Mikkelsen Khaleesi's, I have to say, not one of Marvel's worst villains, I'd have to say. He's pretty good. He's not a great villain, but he's not a horrible villain. You kind of see what his motivations are. He's not so black and white. He's just not like, yeah, I want to wipe out the entire galaxy. And you know, you see, like, yeah, you know, he has some humanity to him. He's exactly what Doctor Strange was, or he's exactly what he was, and then he turned out to be something different. And that's why, you know, Stephen Strange could be so much like him, and that's something cool to see. And that's a lot of things, like a lot of the villains in the Marvel MCU when their first solo outing, you see them fight somebody who is the opposite of them, who is like themselves but went in a completely different direction. And it's also very cool to see, like, yeah, he is not all about destroying the Earth. He just wants a goal, and he thinks that going about it this way will help his goal be achieved. And it's not so black and white. There's this kind of gray area, and it also throws a big shade thing and he also reveals more stuff about some certain characters, which I'm not going to spoil here if you haven't seen the movie. But yeah, and that definitely does question a lot of the characters' morals and what they decide to do. But so yes, definitely storytelling, characters, really love them, really liked everybody. Rachel McAdams as Christina Palmer, very well done. You know, if you guys saw my Southpaw review, you know how I like my Rachel McAdams. But yeah, she did a very good job, I have to say. She wasn't in a whole lot of the movie, but I think what she was in, she was very good. I liked her role, and I'd like to see more of her, you know, coming into the future. Wong, I very much liked. He was a very kind of comedic guy. He was the serious kind of comedic guy, and it was cool to see him interact with Doctor Strange. And you know, even though he was in a little bit, I'm really looking forward for him to be in Sorry if you guys haven't heard. Spoiler alert if you guys have not heard. I'll put my hands down when the spoiler's done. But if you guys have not heard, he will be in Infinity War, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. And other than that, yeah, that's about it for the characters. Now the visuals. Oh my god, the visuals in this movie are amazing. I really did like the visuals. They were so mind-bendingly awesome. I just cannot imagine what these guys were doing when, like, what was going through these guys' head when they had to come up with, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna have flips and blah, blah, kaleidoscopes and all of such, and like, yeah, I'm confused. But yeah, definitely, and especially the people I went with, they were very awed by the effects as well. We really did love seeing that kind of different way to really, you know, have fighting in a way with this kind of magic, and that's something very unique to this movie, is the magic, and that's really what makes this movie, is the magic. And I really do think that, you know, this really does boost Doctor Strange up a little bit. He's very well, you know, he's very well represented, I'd say. There's a lot of awesome things, and especially the effects really do help that, and the different tone, you know, and the different things that they do with it is very well done, and I really do like that. Is it one of the greatest Marvel movies ever made? It's up there. It's not the best. It's probably not in my top 5. It is in my top 10, I would say that. It's probably in about maybe 6, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 5. Somewhere around there. One of them 2 areas. I have to rewatch it a couple more times to kind of get my firm belief on which, you know, which it is. But other than that, guys, I can't really spoil anything else for you. I will say the post-credit scenes are amazing. The first one I really did love. It was awesome to see that, and please do not have any of this spoiled for you. It'll be amazing when you guys see it happen. And definitely the second one is going to be setting up a certain character to be like a Loki character. And if you if you see the second end credit scene, you know who I'm talking about, because they started as a certain way and then they go down another path. But I'm not going to spoil any more, even though that was not really a spoiler, but I'm not going to say any more. But yeah, guys, that's about it. Definitely probably a 4 out of 5 winks. Definitely one of the top tier Marvel. It's one of the better Marvel movies, but not not one of the greatest. But yeah, guys, that's about it. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you guys out. J-Wing, wing it out.